Welcome to the City Manager's Report. The City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and municipal news, and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. Your hosts, Emily Springstroh of Oshkosh Media and Assistant City Manager, John Fitzpatrick.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on GovTV for your City Manager's Report, your source for all of the latest and greatest news and updates happening right here in the city of Oshkosh. I'm your host, Emily Springstroh, and today we are joined by Assistant City Manager John Fitzpatrick, who is filling in for City Manager Roloff today. So thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Thanks for having me, Emily.
It's great to have you. We're going to go ahead and dive into our hot topics for the first half of today's show. We've got a lot of them, and then we'll take a little break and return with a review of the Common Council meeting agenda for Wednesday, August 15th, 2018. So, John, first we're going to start off with, in the first half, National Night Out happened earlier this week.
Right.
Big night in Oshkosh. Great turnout.
Absolutely, yes. It's something that I think the community looks forward to, and now that we have our neighborhood associations, I think it just makes it a richer event.
It was a lot of fun, and Oshkosh Media had a chance to get out to 3 of the different parties or block parties, things like that were happening, and so we put together a little recap video for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and take a look at National Night Out 2018.
We have been doing this for the last 5 years, and it's a lot of fun for all of the kids. They like to play on the road. It gets the neighbors connected. I think it really helps you feel connected to be around people you know, and it's always good to help each other out if you can and when you can. We have bubbles, we have root beer floats, free t-shirts. Oh yes, and an adorable puppy.
We are doing a food drive with cooperation of the festival cart that was brought in, and the area food pantry that's coming as well. It's a good fun time, and to meet, of course, the safety aspect, which will be the fire trucks and SWAT team, and love that we have the Harley here tonight, and our police officers and a community officer, which is such a blessing to have here. People should start a neighborhood association and be really silly like me, because it brings the community together. You're really starting to find a sense of like you can help each other out. You're there for one another. It's just that sense of building sense of community and for the greater good. It's just a great opportunity, and the city recognizes you, and there's funds to be, had if you're willing to pour forth a little effort.
We actually incorporated just about a month and a half ago. We're basically just trying to clean up our area and let everybody in the area know about the importance of the architects and the history of our neighborhood. And so this is kind of just a little meet and greet for everybody to get to know everybody in the area and what we have to offer in our neighborhood. Being a renter in the area, actually not a homeowner, it's really great because it's given me an opportunity to get to know the history of the neighborhood. The city's been very helpful with us. We're actually in the works of cleaning up some of the signage from the area and just getting to let everybody else in the neighborhood know what we offer everybody else in Oshkosh.
So overall, a really great evening, a lot of really good neighborhood conversations happening. And as the video is playing, we're talking about that this is such a cool opportunity for neighbors just to get to know each other.
It is, absolutely. Some neighbors still have block parties, and that's fun, but I think this is just a reason to get together and a reason to go out, and I think it's just a wonderful opportunity for the community to just connect, with each other as well as city employees. So
definitely. So a great local event that we look forward to every year. And if you're interested in seeing more photos, other videos, there's a ton of it on Facebook. So if you follow the neighborhood association that you are a part of, or Oshkosh Media, the Parks Department, everybody was out taking a lot of great photos and videos. So definitely check that out on Facebook. Moving on down our list, John, we want to do a brief recap of EAA AirVenture. We haven't had a show since that wrapped up, and it was a huge event this year. It's a huge event every year, but this was kind of a record-breaking one.
Another record year. I think it's 2 years in a row that they've broken records, so that's great. I think we were fortunate that the weather was nice, and I think there was maybe only one day, one night possibly where it was a little rainy. but it was relatively safe this year too, which is always something that everybody wishes for and plans for, and it was a great event.
Yes, and so the video you're seeing is from this year. Oshkosh Media had a chance to get out there and wander around and collect some cool shots. So here's just a few of the facts and figures that we received from EAA. A record year, 601,000 people in attendance. There were over 10,000 aircraft, a ton of campers, which is always awesome. And then you can see the international guests that were registered, which is amazing to see that many people from that many countries coming to little old Oshkosh.
It is amazing, and they've been coming here for next year. It'll be 50 years, so
Yes.
that'll be a special opportunity for people who may have not attended to attend for the first time and/or to come back.
Oh, for sure.
So I think it'll be just as nice next year, if not better.
Exactly. And there's been a lot of media coverage, too, on the economic impact that it has as well, which is always great to bring that business into Oshkosh and to in the Fox Valley
Right,
region. So,
absolutely.
great event, and we're already looking forward to next year, right, John?
Right, yeah.
Getting back to the more local side of things, we met a lot of the new community art projects out at Unity and Community on May 5th, the Lake Fly project. A lot of them have been installed now at this point, and they have found their permanent homes. So we had them all lined up at the Unity and Community event for you to meet them and take a look at them, and it just has really been a cool community art project.
It has been. I was out at Unity in the community, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it. Families were there, kids were there, and for people that don't know, the city of Oshkosh provided an award, a Local Spark Award from WEA Trust, to support public art, and that's what really spawned this, or maybe hatched this idea.
Yes.
In the first place.
It really made it possible to bring these amazing little works of art to Oshkosh. And so the whole idea is that these lake flies are anchored at different places throughout the community. Different organizations and businesses sponsored them. We had all local artists that decorated them and made them unique and made them their own project. And so the ones that we're looking at now are right along the Riverwalk behind the convention center in the Leach Amphitheater, but you can find them all over the community. I think they're still in the process of installing a lot of them. However, in the next few weeks, there will be a map available on the city website where you can scope them all out
Right.
and get a good view of them.
Right, absolutely.
So we're very excited about that and encourage you to get out in the community and check them out.
Right.
Moving on, we want to do a brief recap of a really fun little event that Oshkosh Media and the Friends of OCM actually put on last week, Wednesday. And it was the free train ride event at Menominee Park in the amusement center. So it was a huge turnout. We didn't do a ton of publication for it, but a lot of people came out for the free train rides, free popcorn, obviously a lot of fun Oshkosh Media balloons and prizes and giveaways. And so it was just a fun, cute little event that got people out to the park, and it was just a really good time.
Right. The Parks has got stuff going on all the time. Jenny McCullion, she's amazing with all of the programming that she works on, not only for the parks, but also for the Leach Amphitheater and the Apollo Community Water Park. So it's something that I think the citizens can be proud of, and we're really grateful to the Friends of OCM for all of their support over the years. So we can share all this information and open up things that are going on in the community to the
For
citizenry.
sure. And the Friends of OCM sponsoring this event to make that possible for free train rides and popcorn. It was just a great opportunity for people to have an excuse to get out there and actually try it if they hadn't been out
Right,
there before.
right.
So on that note, we do want to also give a little promotion to Menominee Park and all the other parks. We still got another month of summer left,
That's
so
right.
we encourage people to get out and enjoy those parks and enjoy the amusement center at Menominee Park too.
Absolutely.
So, once again, to all that came out, thank you for joining us. And we do apologize that we got rained out towards the end. But it seems that everybody was able to get their free train ride tickets at least. So everyone had a great time. And maybe sometime in the future, we'd like to do it all over again.
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
While we're on promos, John, with the Parks Department, a really cool one that's happening next Friday. It's their last Food Truck Friday event out at South Park to benefit
Right.
the Senior Center.
Right. This event has just been phenomenal. I never would have guessed that it would be so popular, but it's hugely popular. I was talking to the Parks Director, Ray Maurer, and he said that They've had 3,000 people for these.
Amazing.
It's just it's crazy. So
It is amazing.
but it's nice, it's fun. They have music, they have, as the graphic indicates, 12 different food trucks out there. There's a lot of fun activities for the whole family,
Yes.
and it benefits a good cause.
Yes, the Friends of the Oshkosh Senior Center actually put this event on. I believe it started about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's slowly grown since
Right.
then, and now it has become a huge community event that everybody comes out to. A lot of kids enjoying the new playgrounds, the inclusive playground, the splash pad, the music, the beer, soda, wine, things like that.
Right.
So it's just overall a really fun thing to
Yep,
come out
very
for.
nice, very nice.
Last thing that we want to talk about here, John, is a reminder for next week, Tuesday. It is Election Day, and we want to make sure that everybody's coming out and voting for that election. So
Yes, right. No, we encourage people to get out and vote. We hope that it's possible for them to get out and exercise their opportunity to vote.
yes.
So the polling places can be found on the website. If you are unsure as to where you can vote, you can contact our office. Our city clerk will be able to help with that as well.
Definitely. The city clerk has been extremely helpful too. If you have any questions about registering and things like that, they're happy to give you any information that you need to make it possible for you to vote. So once again, Tuesday, August 14th is Election Day, and we encourage you guys to get out there. And before we take our break, that is also a great reminder that since Election Day is on Tuesday the 14th, when the council meeting would have been, that meeting was moved to the following day on Wednesday.
Right. Whenever that happens, I believe there's an ordinance on the books that allows us to move that council meeting to the following day. So that'd be Wednesday.
Yes. And so we will get to that agenda right after our break for August 15th, 2018. We'll be right back on City Manager's Report.
To commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Great War, the Oshkosh Public Museum is pleased to present For Home and Country, World War I, an exhibition featuring artifacts, photographs, and unique stories that will transport visitors back to this turbulent era. For Home and Country, World War I, on display through October 7th at the Oshkosh Public Museum. For more information, visit oshkoshmuseum.org.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back to City Manager's Report. Thanks again for joining us on GovTV for this program. We're in the second half of the show today, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Common Council meeting agenda for Wednesday, August 15th, 2018. So, John, first item that we want to talk about here is a presentation at the very beginning of the meeting, and that is for the Esri Award for Lakeshore Redevelopment. So, tell us a little bit about what this award is.
Sure. We are fortunate here at the City of Oshkosh because we have amazing staff, and we are looked to as leaders from our peers all the time and called about all kinds of different things to provide some assistance to others. And this is just another example of that. We were there was a national conference, and for people that don't know, Esri is a software company that provides a variety of different products for folks, but primarily GIS is what they're famous for. And for those that don't know what GIS is, it's Geographic Information Systems. And there's just so much that can be done with that software. And it opens up a whole world of information, not only for us as employees, but also for the citizens. And we had some of our employees attend that conference, and actually we received an award that was voted on by all the participants as one of the best uses of the software, and that was for the Lakeshore development.
And this was a national conference,
Right.
and it was voted on by attendees, so other people that are using this software and know
Right.
what it can do. And
Absolutely.
so it really is a very cool award to be
It is a
accepted.
cool award, and Jeff Now, who works in community development, Adam Dorn, who works in information technology, and Kelly Nyforth, who also works in community development. Really, I think those three people were instrumental in working on that project and deserve a lot of credit for being recognized, as you mentioned, by their peers for the efforts that were undertaken. So,
Definitely. So they will be at that meeting as well, accepting
be.
the award and telling
Yes.
council a little bit more about it
Right.
and some more background. So we encourage people to tune in for the meeting and learn a little bit more about the software and what it can do, and then how the Lakeshore redevelopment maps were selected
Yes.
as the recipient for this
Right.
wonderful award. So
Right.
congrats to staff on that. Right after that, we've got a proclamation. It is, I believe it's an annual proclamation. It's Civility Month.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about what Civility Month means.
Well, a few years ago, the city of Oshkosh and actually worked with a citizen, Walter Scott, who was familiar with a book that was written by P.M. Forney talking about civility and how it can help a community. And we actually had him come to the city, and he spoke to the citizenry at the convention center. And so we are members of the Civility Pledge. It's something I think that's very important. You know, we are fortunate that we have a community that respects each other, and it just reinforces that idea, how to deal with each other in a respectful manner, and it's something I think that is important to be mindful of. You know, there's a lot of topics that people get very passionate about, and we respect that, but I think it's also important to respect each other when we're providing our opinion, and this is just a reminder of the purpose of that pledge.
It all comes down to the respectful communication
Right.
aspect of it, especially in this realm that we're working in too, in
Right.
the public meeting arena that is a lot of different opinions floating
Sure.
around out there. So just a great reminder, like you said,
Yeah.
to keep it civil. And if you're looking for more information too, definitely tune into the council meeting where the mayor has a ton of information about it, and he plans to share that at the start of the meeting.
Right.
So moving on, John, down into the consent agenda items, we've got an item that is relating to traffic signal cameras, streetlight poles, arms, and streetlight fixtures. And this is relating to the Oshkosh Avenue redevelopment infrastructure improvements.
Right.
And it's not a small number, about 126,000 here. Tell us a little bit about what this is for and where these fixtures will be
Sure.
going.
This is associated with the redevelopment of Oshkosh Avenue, and as people I think know, the development of the Oshkosh Corporation headquarters on the former Lakeshore site is going to generate some different traffic that we'll have to deal with in that area. And so these are some of the first infrastructure purchases that are going to be placed, and it's going to be a ways off before that building is completed. But some of the things are specialized, some of the equipment is specialized, and we really need a 16 to 20 week lead time in order to secure this stuff. So we're trying to get an early jump on that work and get that stuff ordered, so when we can move it in place, we'll be ready.
Excellent. Moving down on under the consent agenda as well, we've got the accepting of a historic sign marker easement at 234 Church Avenue, and this is the location that many of us know the Morgan House is on. So
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what that entails.
Well, I think people know the Morgan House. It's here on Church Ave, and it's been a landmark for many, many years. Many people have visited the Morgan House and toured the inside of the Morgan House, and history is an important component of any community. And I think people recognize that it's places like the Morgan House and the history associated with it that are the building blocks for our identity. So it's important to not lose touch with that. And there's going to be a nice sign that's going to be placed outside of the Morgan House, and I think it'll be a welcome addition to people that have been maybe coming to the Morgan House for years, or people that haven't had an opportunity to see the Morgan House. So
Definitely. And they're always doing work to improve it and maintain it and make sure that it stays true to its historical
Right.
roots, I guess you could say.
Right.
But we definitely encourage people to check out the Morgan House because it is there's a lot of really cool stories
Yeah.
that come out of there, and you kind of get a little bit of a look into Oshkosh's history that
Right.
way. So.
Right.
Excited to see that. Moving down on the agenda, we've got the approval of a conditional use permit and general development plan for community living arrangement at 3800 Jackson Street. What is this location going to have?
Well, this will be an elder care facility. It'll be a one-story facility that'll be located on Jackson, and the graying of our population is really providing many opportunities for us to support the idea of people being independent for as long as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just another example of that. We have a variety of developments in the city that accommodate a variety of age groups, and this is one that I think will be a welcome addition.
Very cool. Very positive addition to City of Oshkosh.
Right?
Moving on, we've got the approval for a cooperative agreement with the State of Wisconsin Department of Transportation, and this is for Wisconsin Continuously Operating Reference Stations, otherwise known as WISCOR. So tell us a little bit about what this is and how it works and what the partnership is going to be there.
Yes. Well, first of all, we've had a good relationship with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation for quite some time. They've helped us with a variety of different projects over the years. We were one of the first communities to receive the opportunity to upgrade Interstate 41 and all kinds of different things that other communities have had to wait their turn for. So we appreciate that, and in addition to that, this is just another one of those cooperative activities whereby the Department of Transportation coordinates the collection and updating of GPS coordinates. So for people that use their GPS, that might have a Garmin or now use their phone, those coordinates are updated regularly, and there's different information that's provided all the time. So these stations collect and transmit that information, and we're fortunate to have a station right here, located right here in Oshkosh. And because of that, we'll be able to get more accurate information because we'll have it readily available. They've agreed to share that information with us, and for other communities that may have to pay for that information, because we've agreed to have that site located here in Oshkosh, we'll receive all that information for free. So that'll be something that I think will benefit not only our organization but also the community.
Excellent.
So it's a cool project.
Very exciting to see that on the agenda this week. And now moving down, there's also a large chunk of the agenda that is dealing with Pickert Estates. And this has been talked about before here and there. We've got all the pending resolutions that are regarding this, as well as pending ordinances. So
Right.
kind of give us a little idea of the status of where this is at.
Right, you're right. This is these items have been laid over from previous council meetings, and it's a residential development that's going to be located on the west end of 9th Ave, and so we're very excited about that, about the opportunity to add another development in the community. That's something that not only the council but citizens have been, asking for quite some time. It's great that Oshkosh is popular and more and more people want to come here, and more businesses want to come here, but we want to be able to accommodate their desire to come here. So I think this will be a nice addition also. These developers are working very hard to try to secure all the information that's necessary and do a good job with this development. So it's taken a little bit of time because they have to work with external parties as well and track down some information.
It's not an easy process.
It isn't, but they've been really good for us to work with, and I'm glad that hopefully we're getting to a point where they can move forward with some of the plans that they have.
Excellent. Well, we're happy to see that this is moving along and that they are sticking true to their goal here too.
They are. I know there's some other ordinances that are later in the agenda that are also related to this. So there's quite a few items on the agenda this week, for this next week's council meeting that are related to this development.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to lots of discussion at the meeting about this too, and learning a little bit more background too about maybe how they got to where they are right now. So
Right.
moving on down into the new resolutions, John, we've got a couple items that are relating to AT&T for construction work at North Main Street and Washington Avenue. One of these is a noise variance and the other one is a closure. So
Right.
this is for August 18th to the 19th and August 24th to the 25th.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about this project. What's going on?
Well, it's my understanding there's a vault underneath the ground that needs some attention, so we want to try to address that as soon as possible and not create any additional complications for anyone or any of the traveling public. So it's something that we need to take a look at and try to address as soon as we can. So we apologize for the inconvenience, but I think it's very important for us to try to address this in a timely manner. It's either going to be taken care of on the 18th and 19th or the 24th and 25th, and there might be a little bit of noise, and we'll try to get additional information out in terms of any kind of detours that might be required, but it's something that needs to be taken care of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And definitely be on the lookout on the city website as well as Oshkosh Media's Facebook page and Twitter. We will be putting out updates on, like you said, detours,
Right.
and if dates are changing or anything like that. We'll make sure that we keep the public informed on what's going on so we can at least ease any of the inconvenience
Right.
as much as we can.
Right?
So moving down to council discussion, we've got a couple of workshops coming up. Actually, just one. It's coming up on August 22nd at 5 p.m. in room 404. And this is the second budget workshop. So tell us any preview of what's going to be discussed at this one.
Well, the first budget workshop, generally we talk about more of the high-cost drivers like pay, benefits, what we believe some of the historical numbers have been and where we're trending and how we're going and what it looks like from a very rough perspective. Try to get some direction from the council in terms of what they would like to see us come in with in regard to a budget. But this second workshop is just a little more detail. So it gets a little more detailed as we go forward. Starting out, from the macro view and then just refining the budget to a point where the council feels comfortable with it and they believe the citizens will feel comfortable with it. So this is just the second step in a series of, I think we have at least 5 workshops and we're on workshop number 2.
Excellent. Well, it's great to get a little preview of what we'll be talking about. And once again, that's August 22nd at 5 p.m. You can watch it live on GovTV if you can't make it out to the council meeting that evening. So last thing we want to talk about really briefly here is the update to an ordinance to regulate the operation of commercial quadricycles, otherwise known as pedal pubs.
Right. It's amazing how many people come up to me and talk to me about this issue. I think they've seen it in other metro areas, like, for example, Madison and Milwaukee have pedal pubs, and they actually have pedal boats as well. I mean, we haven't explored that at this point yet, but I'm assuming that somebody may want to pursue that in the future. But the idea behind pedal pubs, for those that don't understand what they might be, is it's kind of a large, almost like a trolley car kind of vehicle where people can tour the community and then also enjoy some liquid refreshment while they're
Yes.
doing it.
Make
So,
stops at taverns along the
right,
way.
there's a lot of research and there's a lot of detail that needs to go into the implementation of any kind of ordinance that might be dealing with this. So our staff want to do a good job with it. They're doing their due diligence, doing the proper research, and working with a variety of folks who are interested in pursuing this. So I know people may be anxious to see when that could take place, but City Manager Roloff is just going to provide a little more detail as to where we were, where we are, and where he thinks it might end up. So I
Excellent.
think that'll be an interesting update.
We're excited to hear more about the pedal pubs as it
Right.
is a popular conversation here in Oshkosh.
Right.
And that's going to wrap up our agenda conversation for today, and we are just about out of time. So John, once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Emily.
Again, the Common Council meeting is this Wednesday, August 15th at 6 p.m. You can watch it live on GovTV and on our website at oshkoshmedia.org or on the radio at 101.9 Oshkosh FM. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, social media, YouTube, all the things. Go ahead, give us a follow for all the latest and greatest updates happening in our city. And then lastly, if you've got a question, also send it to any of our social media channels and we will answer it on the next episode of CMR. So once again, thank you so much for joining us for City Managers Report, and we'll see you next time.